Hey, it's Nilay from The Verge, and this is the 7th generation iPod Nano. It's the latest radical redesign of the Nano. Apple seems to love changing this product. As you can see, the biggest change is this new 2.5-inch multi-touch display. The old Nano kind of looked like a watch, and this one kind of looks very much like a tiny little iPhone. It's even got a sleep-wake switch at the top. It's got a volume rocker on the side. In the middle, that's actually button 2. It's play-pause. And on the bottom, you'll find the headphone jack, and there's Apple's new Lightning connector as well. The new Nano comes bundled with Apple's EarPods headphones, which the company claims it's been working on for 3 years. But to my ears, they only sound marginally better. It's really small and really light, and it's nicely made, but aesthetically, it just doesn't quite fit with Apple's other products like the new iPod Touch or the new iPhone. And that impression is kind of carried right over into this OS, which is called the Nano OS. It's not iOS, and it's strange. You can see that instead of rounded rectangles like on the iPhone and on the iPad, Apple's using circles on the Nano to reinforce that it's a different OS. And even the home button has a circle in it, which is truly strange. Actually, using the Nano is very basic. When you press on music, you get the standard iPod list that you're probably familiar with. If you're in another part of the interface, you can press the middle button to actually go back to whatever you're playing before, which is convenient, but it works somewhat inconsistently. Sometimes it really does just play and pause. You can play videos. The video player is a little funny because it can layer so many different UI elements. Here you can see we've got the navigation controls, and if we start changing the volume controls overlay the navigation controls. It's a really tiny screen, and it's kind of impressive that Apple's fitting so much information onto it, but the overall value of this is somewhat unknown. Apple knows that people love to use the Nano as a fitness device, so they've baked Nike Plus right in. It'll play music at you. You can set a power song. When you plug it back into your computer, it syncs with Nike Plus. You can look at photos. Hilariously, you can pinch and zoom photos, which is pretty funny on a device of this size. There's a radio, which lets you do radio stuff. You can set presets. You can hit pause for up to 15 minutes and come back. And there's a clock. And the clock is actually a part of this that I find the most heartbreaking. I was really hoping Apple would take the previous Nano and turn it into more of a watch. And instead, they retained a little bit of that functionality with multiple watch faces, but you can't download new watch faces from iTunes anymore. And you're limited only to these weird variations on green with the green Nano. And that lack of choice actually carries over to the wallpaper, strangely enough. You can only pick from 4 patterns that match the color of the device. So here I've got 4 green ones and gray. I have no idea why Apple decided to restrict it like that, but it's just a bizarre limitation on this device, which should be able to let you set anything as a wallpaper. So that's it. That's the new iPod Nano. It's $149. It comes in a bunch of colors, and it's probably one of the best iPods Apple's ever made. But it's still an iPod. You have to plug it into your computer with a cable. You have to manage your files in iTunes. You have to copy files to it. And I suspect that if you're anything like me, you don't want to do that anymore. You use a service like Spotify or RDO that streams things from the cloud, that syncs things to mobile automatically. And I'm hoping with the next generation of iTunes and the next iPods Apple makes, it catches up to where its most forward-thinking competitors have already landed.